The Zhiyun Crane M2, the smallest, lightest, most portable and cheapest gimbal we've tested to date. But is it any good for a mirrorless camera, or only for the point and shoot or mobile phone crowd? Let's find out. Let's start with an unboxing. When you open this puppy up, it's a nice styrofoam box, comes with it, reusable, maybe not that durable. It's been lasting a couple of weeks for us, so not too bad. You have your tripod mount to use for balancing, or if you want to put it down and shoot it in tripod mode. You have your tripod plate and nib to connect to your camera and your camera to the gimbal. You have a USB-C charging cable. You have your mobile phone mount, really sturdy, nice, high quality. I'm pretty impressed with the build quality of that. And then of course your Crane M2 gimbal itself has a locking mechanism on the back for travel and storage. Your joystick, record, mode button, menu, on, off, and some camera controls. We'll have a look at that in a second. I'm going to set it up with my iPhone 11 Pro and we'll have a look at some of the modes before we go out and shoot and see if it's any good with the mirrorless. So we've got the gimbal set up here with my iPhone 11 Pro. When you start it up, it'll be in pan follow mode, which just follows your left to right movement. Up and down stays facing forward. One press of the mode button puts you in lock, which stays in the orientation you started in. Another press puts you in POV mode, which will follow your point of view exactly. A double press puts you into go mode, which is like a sport mode for quick flip movements. Another double press puts you in vortex, which is like a flashlight mode, but it also has a lot of roll for some interesting creative shots. That's the way you want to go. Press it once to get it back in pan follow. Double tap the trigger there to get it facing forward, or you can triple tap it to spin it around into selfie mode. And that's about it. Let's have a look at the spec sheet and we'll chat through that. We have a really quick look at the spec sheet here. We can see a couple of really important things. First of all, battery runtime, great. 7 hours is huge for a gimbal like this. And I can confirm we have been using it for about a week with no charge, shooting a couple of days in between. We haven't had any issues with battery life. It's phenomenal the way it is. But then our main issue right here, a maximum payload of 720 grams. To give you an idea, a Sony a6300 with a very small Sigma 30mm 1.4 contemporary lens is already 730. So going anything bigger than pancake lenses on something like a mirrorless is going to be really tough. But we're taking it out, we're doing some tests, and we're trying some bigger lenses with some higher motor functionality or power and seeing if we can make it work so that you guys can see if it's worth it to make it work for you. Right, we're down at the beachfront here near where I live. Two main issues so far with this gimbal that I found is, one, the 720 gram weight allowance really limits your options on lenses, which is why we're quite a bit too close cropped in on this, because it's the 30mm Sigma Contemporary 1.4 that we're using. You'll hear quite a bit of noise as well, because we can't actually get our Rode mic to be on this while it's stabilized. It puts us too much over the weight limit. So it's quite tight on 720 grams. We're at about 730 right now on medium motor strength and it's still working fine, but it will get over if you put any form of cage or mic on it or anything else. So it is a little bit tough, but overall the gimbal's doing a great job. We'll run some footage of that. Pros and cons, let's break it down. There's a lot to unpack with this little guy. First of all, it's super tiny. It basically fits in your pocket. Travel with it, it's super easy to use. Secondly, it's pretty cheap. It comes in about 4,500. I'll have conversion rates on screen again for US viewers. Super affordable. You can use your mobile phone on it with a mobile phone mount. There are better alternatives for that, like the DJI Osmo Mobile, which is even cheaper, but it's a nice to have that won't be in some bigger gimbals. And then the battery life. The battery lasts forever. It literally like 7 hours of straight shooting. We, like I said, used it for more than a week without charging it, and it was still fine for about an hour or two a day at least. Cons, there's really only one, but it's a big one. It doesn't really balance or stabilize all that well with the mirrorless. You get your mirrorless on and you can make it work, and the footage is usable. You can see it in the footage we just showed and in the footage we've used in this review, but quite often you'd still want to post-stabilize it. In our shots here, I left everything as it was out of camera. I just slowed down some shots, and you can see when slowed down it looks a lot better in the slow-mo, but when you're using anything at full speed, there's quite a bit of jitter, there's quite a bit of up and down movement still. It's not ideal, and it's not a great feeling when you have to post-stabilize a shot that you did on a gimbal that you just bought. So, a pretty big con in that way. In the end, looking at this, would I suggest it for a mirrorless camera? Probably not. I'd say save up a little bit. For about twice the price, a little bit less than twice the price actually, you can get a Weebill S, which is a phenomenal gimbal. We have a review on that coming up in the coming weeks, by the way, check it out. But if you have a point and shoot, something like one of the Sony Zs, or you just want to use your mobile phone, maybe have a look at it. I think for mobile phones, the DJI Osmo Mobile might be a better option because it's cheaper and it does a great job by itself and its software is amazing. But for point and shoots, maybe that's where this lives. For mirrorless cameras with interchangeable lenses, I don't think it's a great buy, to be honest. I think you're better off saving up and getting something a little more premium and a little more in that weight range that you need, especially if you're gonna have bigger lenses.
Anna from Zhiyun, so this is the correct pronunciation for Zhiyun.
That's gonna be all for this video review of the Zhiyun Crane M2. Zhiyun, I still don't know how to say it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned what you came here to learn. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell notification if you want to know when the next one's up. We'll have more for you in the next week or so. See you guys next time.